Hi there, it's Brian, owner and founder of Northern Power and Safety Solutions, and I want to go over the Lockout ID cost proposition to you. Now, if you head over to www.lockoutids, you're going to be able to follow along, plug in your own numbers, but I just want to go through a couple of scenarios with you so that you can see the benefit of switching from traditional tags to lockout IDs. It's apparent in year one. So once you get here, click on the big green button, or you can scroll down a little bit, and you're going to get the calculate cost savings. And we are just going to take a look at one user for now. Imagine that you are a contractor or a solo person out there, and you're responsible for purchasing your own lockout tags. And we have an industry average of between 80 cents and $1.50, depending on where you get these tags and what kind of a bulk you purchase. So we're just figuring $1.15. If you know specifically what it's costing you, feel free to plug in your number there. And industry average is about 75 tags per worker per year. If this changes for you and you have a ballpark how much you go through, you can again adjust this number. So we calculate the savings, and down here what we're going to find is that traditional lockout tags are going to cost you about $95. How do we figure this out? 75 tags per user and then $1.15 per tag. We're going to factor in a 10% waste factor, and that's an average industry standard where you're messing up the tag or it's ruined in some way and you have to throw it away. So figuring 10% of that. It ends up costing out of pocket $95 a year. Now, when you consider that up against the Lockout ID system, if you purchase a Lockout ID Smart Tag, you're paying about $10. It's $9.99. And then the annual license for that is included for the first year. So the first year, you're only paying $10. So right off the bat, you're saving $85 a year just by starting with the one tag with the one user. Lockout IDs. And you can see down here over a 3 and a 5 year, that savings is just going to incrementally get higher and higher. Over here, you see a 2+ year figure. It's going to cost you slightly more for the first 3 years because after the first year, you don't have the cost of the tag, but there is a licensing fee of $8. And we're going to amortize the tag over 3 years. So we're just splitting that up 3 through 3. And then after year 3, you don't have that. It falls off. It actually decreases, and then your percentage of saving increases. So we're looking at roughly about $11 a year compared again to the 95. This is a winner here. Because think about how much you could spend or what you could do with the extra $85 in your pocket. You can see here a comparison over time what this looks like. As you can see, there is a big delta here. You're paying this right now. But when you switch and you make that choice, just one tag, this is your new out-of-pocket expense, and this is your savings amount. It's the delta between the two. So let's go up and we'll think more realistically about that. Now, our average customer has about 350 tags with us. They have 350 lockout IDs. So you can imagine that these numbers are going to go through the roof in savings. So let's get 350 in here. We're going to assume at that amount, you can get them in bulk at 80 cents a tag. We're still going to have the 75 tags per user per year. And we'll take a look at this. The traditional lockout tags right now, right here, right now, are costing you over $23,000. So you have a $21,000 based on less than $1 a tag, and then the 10% waste factor. With Lockout ID, you just pay the tag purchase once for the first year. Licensing is $0. So look at that savings. Over $19,000 in savings just for the first year. Now, as we go forward in time, we're going to see this go a little bit higher here because we have the amortized tag price over 3 years, and then it just falls down to the $8 a tag. Now, we also have convenient tier features that could lower that cost down even more for licensing. But have a look at that. What could you do with capital expenditures going down? You need to reinvest it in something else. So we see here, again, very similar comparisons. Whether you're doing one tag or 300 tags, you are going to see that the cost you're paying right now is this tall red bar. This is what you're paying right now. This is what you will be paying when you switch. And here is the savings. So as you can see, over time, it is a no-brainer to switch out your lockout tags, the traditional tags that end up in landfills, don't have any of the tools, features, or functionality of lockout IDs, and move them directly into lockout IDs. You can start today. You don't even have to replace everything. Just start with one, and the savings will build. If you want to see how much it's actually going to save you, head on over to www.lockoutids.com and plug in your numbers and see how much you can save by switching to lockout IDs today. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.